Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make these, what I'm calling the X's and O's stitch. Doesn't really have a name, it was just a stitch pattern, but the reason why I call it the X's and O's stitch because it depends on how you look at it. If you look at it this way, it's X's, but if you look at it this way, they're circles. And to do this stitch, you can use any size yarn and whatever hook size that yarn recommends. I'm using worsted weight yarn, which is 4-ply for the US, 10-ply for Australia, and I'm using a 5mm hook or a size H hook. So the multiples of this stitch is 10 plus 6, and what that means is that you're going to do in sets of 10, 10, 10, 10 till you reach your desired width. Once you have, you chain 6 more and you're ready to start. So once you have your multiples of 10 and you have the width that you want, go ahead and chain 6 more and you're ready to begin row 1. For row 1, you want to skip the first 4 chains and you want to double crochet in the 5th chain. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this 5th chain. You're going to put a double crochet. Then you're going to put a double crochet in the next 2 chains as well until you have 3 double crochets. So once you have your 3 double crochets in a row, you're going to skip the next chain, and in the next chain after that you're going to put a double crochet. So skip 1 chain, double crochet in the next. You also want to put a double crochet in the following stitch as well. Now you have this 1 skipped chain stitch now that you want to come in front of. Remember, you want the double crochet to show in the front of your work. So you're going to do a double crochet, back up, find that chain, and you can use your hook to pick up that loop if you want. And then you'll do your double crochet in that chain stitch that you just skipped. And now it's kind of like pulled in front. Now to do your next one, you want to skip 2. So find the chain that hasn't been worked in and count 1, 2, and in this 3rd chain you want to do a double crochet. And again, you want this because this is going to be part of the front. You want to be working behind this. So now you're going to have to come from behind to work on these 2 chains that you just skipped. So you're going to start in the first chain that was skipped. Let me get a little closer here. And you yarn over, you go from behind your project, find that chain that was skipped, and put your hook in it. And then you can pull up a loop, and then you can work your double crochet as normal. Then again, yarn over, find that next, come behind this post that's in front, find that next chain that was skipped and do your double crochet in that one. It gets easier as you go on and you have a stronger base. Right now it's hard because you're working on a chain. So this was the very first double crochet when we went ahead. You can see that this chain is worked in. So we're going to go in the very next chain after that and put a double crochet. You'll have 4 double crochets in a row. It's 2, 3, and 4. And again, we're going to do what we did before back here. It's kind of hard to see now, but you should have a double crochet facing this way and a double crochet facing this way. Think X, bottom of an X. And we're going to repeat what we did before. We're going to skip this very first chain and double crochet in the next 2 chains. And then now again, we want that top, that half of the X to be in front. So we're going to have to come in front of our 2 double crochets we just did. So you're going to yarn over, find that chain that was skipped, and then go into it. And then if you need to turn your project so that you can do your double crochet easier, go for it. Then once you've done that, these are the next 2 stitches, and then this is your third. You're going to skip 3, so 1, 2, and then this third is when you're going to do your second part of your X, essentially. So this part will need to be in front. So again, you're going to back up to that first chain that was skipped and do a double crochet. Yarn over, find the next chain that was skipped and do a double crochet. Turn your project however you need in order to be able to work in those stitches. So yarn over, this was the last chain that was worked in, which was the first double crochet that we did. So this chain has a stitch in it, so find the next chain and you're going to skip, no, you're going to put a double crochet in that stitch. In between each one we'll have a set of 4 double crochets worked in a row. So that'll be our first double crochet. That's 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to back up in case people can see it a little easier that way. So again, you're going to yarn over, skip this first chain, and then you're going to work a double crochet in the next 2 chains. And then we want to come across the front, so you're going to yarn over, find that chain that we skipped, and then you can turn your project to the side if it makes it easier to do that double crochet. Even we'll pick up this loop, do the first part and then the second. Like I said, it does get easier when you go up. Okay, so now the next one, we want to skip 2 chains and work our double crochet in the third. Then we're going to come from behind, go in that first skip chain, and again, if you need to turn your work to do the double crochet, then you can go into the next chain from back here as well. It's easier for you just to work on the back and then put your stuff up front. Then this was the last chain worked, so you're going to go right into the next chain and start your next set of 4 double crochets, and you continue that down your row. So you end row 1 by working a double crochet in the last 4 chains. So for row 2, you want to do a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn. So the chain 3 counts as the very first double crochet, so you want to find your next 3 double crochets and you're going to put 1 double crochet worked in the next 3. Because the chain 3 counts as the first stitch, it'll still be 4 double crochets in a row. So now you've come up to your section that you were working before, and you're going to work in this middle stitch, it's kind of like the bigger area, so you're going to be, you can see your double crochets, 1 double crochet here, 1 double crochet there. You're going to skip those 2 and work in the very next stitch, and it's kind of a big stitch here, it should be easy to find, and you want to put a double crochet in that stitch. So now you have your 2 skipped stitches back here. Now you want to back up, and you're going to be putting, get a little closer for you. Now you're going to back up and you're going to put a double crochet in this one and this one, these 2 double crochets that you just skipped. So you're going to start with the first one that you skipped here. And this one that you did first is part of the X. So that needs to be sure that that's in front. So you're just going to be coming from behind here, going into that first double crochet and do a double crochet. And then find that second one, making sure you're keeping it in the back. And that's your second double crochet. So if you turn it over, you can see there's This is the bottom part of the X, and now we're doing the second part of the X. This is the X part of it. So this one needs to be going this way, which means this one needs to be going this direction, which is the one we're about to do right now. So you want to find, this is the other section that comes out in front, and then you have 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. So in order to make this one face the correct way, you're going to have to skip it to begin with, find your 2 double crochets here, and you're going to put a double crochet in the first double crochet, and then a double crochet in the second double crochet. Then now we need to yarn over, and we need to find that big stitch here that was in between. See a big old hole here. But in the bottom of the big old hole, you'll see these 2 stitches, which were the ones that were being kind of pulled from the other side. This one we just did the first part of our X, so now this one we need to do the other part of our X. So, but we'll be doing it from the front. So you'll yarn over, come from behind, which will be the front, go into that stitch, and then you will do your double crochet like that. If you turn it over, you can see that now there's 2 stitches going this way. We now have completed our X. I know it's a little difficult, but you can get used to it, and I recommend also checking out the chart at the same time. So now that we've completed our X here, we're going to be doing, in the next 4 stitches, a double crochet. So we have our 4 double crochets in a row. So again, we're going to begin with skipping our first 2 double crochets and going right into that big old stitch there where we're going to put our double crochet. Then we're going to yarn over, and from the back here we're going to go into the first double crochet that we skipped. I'm going to do a double crochet in that one, and then in the second one do a double crochet in that one. And now this one we're going to skip the big hole, go right into the first double crochet and put a double crochet, and then the second one just do a little double crochet. And this is when we want to do a double crochet from coming from the front. So we'll yarn over, we'll come through, you know, the back of our stitch that's facing us, but it's actually the front of our work. Find that stitch and then double crochet, and then again we're finishing our X on this side. Then you'll do a double crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then again we're going to skip these first 2, go right in. If it's easier for you to see, take a look at your project. You'll see 2 double crochets going this way and 2 double crochets kind of going that way, with 2 large stitches in the center. So if that helps you find your stitches better. So we're going to go in that first large stitch in the middle and do a double crochet. Then we're going to back up, working from the back here, do our first and second double crochets that we skipped. Then we're going to skip the middle stitch and do our 2 double crochets. Then we're going to yarn over and go from the back and work a double crochet in that other skipped stitch. And then you will finish your row by doing your 4 double crochets. 1 double crochet worked in the 3 double crochets that are there, and 1 double crochet worked in the top of the chain. And the repeat's going to be repeating rows 2 and 3, and we just did row 2. Okay, for row 3, which is our second row of our repeat, we'll be repeating rows 2 and 3. You will chain 3 and turn. The chain 3 again counts as the first stitch. So you're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. And like I showed you before, It's going to be X's and then O's. So remember, now it's going to be like this to create an O. So in order to do that, you need to skip the first stitch, and you're going to be working a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And now you want to come in front and go into that skip stitch and do your double crochet just like you did for row 1, but you were working in chains. You're going to go in front. And now for this one, we want to do first our piece of our circle. So you're going to skip 1, 2, these 2 middle double crochets, and go right into what looks like part of the X and do your double crochet there. Now you're going to come in from behind and go into that first stitch that we skipped out of these 2, and then you'll do a double crochet in the first one, then find the second stitch and put a double crochet in that one, and that is what creates the top, but it's also what creates the bottom of the X. So you complete your circle, but you're also beginning the next X. So you go right into the next stitch, and you're going to do your 4 double crochets in a row. So we're doing exactly what we did for row 1, but now you're working in the actual stitch. So again, we want it to be sideways like this, so we know we need to come back. So we're going to skip the first stitch, and we're going to go into the next 2 stitches and put a double crochet. And now you're going to be working in mainly just the stitches that are coming from the cable. So when you're yarn over, come in front and go into that stitch, and you want to make sure that you pull the stitch forward because you want it to be worked in the front of your work. Then you're going to go right to the X part of your stitch, the cable part, and go put a double crochet in there, yarn over, go into the first of the 2 stitches that you skipped, and put a double crochet in each one of those. And then you will do your 4 double crochets in a row. Which will bring us back up to our little cable section again. Again, we're going to skip that first little cable stitch and go, so you'll skip a stitch and put a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then you'll yarn over, find that stitch that was skipped, and you'll work your double crochet there. Then the next part will be going right into, you'll skip 2 stitches and go right into that cable stitch. Then you'll back up from behind and work a double crochet in that first stitch that you skipped, and then the second stitch. And then again, you're going to do your set of 4 double crochets. You'll put 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets, and then a double crochet in the top of the chain 3. And then you're going to repeat row 2 now. So go ahead and back up the video, and I'll take you through row 2 and row 3 as many times as you need. So that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to click like and share and comment down below. It helps me out so much. If you're a first-time watcher or you haven't got a chance to subscribe, please go to the main YouTube page, and right next to the subscribe button you'll see a little bell button. Go ahead and click that as well, and you'll always be notified whenever I release a new video. Also, if you're wondering what hook I was using during this video, this tutorial, it's a wooden furls hook. You can find that link down below if you want to order one for yourself, and if you do, I recommend that you ask that it has an extended hook. If not, it's only gonna come half the size. Also, I have a Facebook group called Crochet for the Masses. You can find the link under the video as well. It's a great place to share pictures of projects that you're working on, or ask questions, or to share free pattern links. It's a really nice place to be. So that's it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching.